Well, if we ask, we shall receive. I'm going to say it again. If we ask, we shall receive. I'm going to talk about that and a whole lot more about the firing of Tim Banks at the University of Tennessee. Let's go.
Survive if I let you.
So, as I stated, if we ask, we shall receive. And what did we receive yesterday, Monday morning? We received the news that Josh Heupel and the Tennessee football program has parted ways with Tim Banks. I mean, it was coming. We just wanted to figure out how long it was going to take. And I think when I heard the earlier reports that he was in contention for the Toledo head coaching job, I was like, okay, this here is a soften the blow moment. If he can get this job, then that softens the blow of Josh Heupel actually firing him. Well, my notion is he didn't get the job and Josh Heupel had to do the job. And that was what? Part ways with the only defensive coordinator that he has had in his 5 years at Tennessee. Now, granted, Tim Banks did a great job. Did he do a phenomenal job? No. His best work was 2024. That was his best work. Definitely with an offense that was sputtering, that was struggling, had a quarterback that can only see half the field, had wide receivers that were dropping passes, including Brazel, you know, when the ball was there, when it did get there on the money. You know, Squirrel White had a habit of that. I never understood how, you know, anyway, I never understood Squirrel White's situation when every time he caught the ball, he had to jump for it and land on the ground, and then, of course, you can't complete the pass. But anyway, that's nor here nor there. He's at Florida State. We're here. From the first year he got here, Tim Banks, he basically didn't have a lot to work with. They finished 90th total defense in 2021. And then they got some recruits in here and there. And then the second season, 2022, defensively, they were 40th. So there was a big improvement. A 50 ranked 50 point improvement from 2021. And then in 2023, they were 33rd in the nation, still moving up. You know, of course, that was that, the 2022 season was that great season, that magical season that we had. And then in 2023, points-wise, we kind of digressed a little bit. We were still averaging 30-plus points a game, but defensively, we got a little bit better at 33rd. And, of course, 2024, we finished 7th in total defense. But then this year, in 2025, the wheels fell off. And when I mean they fell off completely. A lot of injuries on the back end, a lot of injuries up front, a lot of losses that we took in regards to the NFL and the transfer portal. Especially on the back end as well. Jacoby Thomas was definitely a missing factor as well, along with Ricky Gibson, who got hurt. Of course, Jamar McCoy got hurt. Boo Carter definitely wasn't in the zone. He definitely was checked out way before the season started. So, we had that going against us as well. In regards to Tim Banks, I mean, hey, let's be realistic here. He put some players in the NFL. By the likes of Alante Taylor, 2nd round, Matthew Butler, 5th round, Theo Jackson, 6th round, Byron Young, 3rd round, Kamal Hatton, 6th round, James Pierce Jr., 1st round, and then Omar Norman Lott in the second round, and those Omar and James Pierce were the two that came out this year, 2025. He had 3 going to the league in 2022, 1 in 2023, 1 in 2024. So the only season that he didn't have nobody going to the league was, of course, the first season. I wouldn't expect that anyway. And then, of course, he had some undrafted free agents that got into the league too, especially Jalen McCullough, who is a standout for the Los Angeles Rams. So, with that being said, like I said, he did a great job. He just didn't do a phenomenal job. And it truly showed this season. There were what I like to call coaching malpractice. A lot of that was going on this year. The Georgia game, Ty Redmond. I've said this before and I've spoken about it before. Left him on an island all game long against the Georgia Bulldogs. No help whatsoever. No, that's coaching malpractice. The Alabama game, 3rd and 2. You're dropping linebackers back like it's 3rd and 10, making it look easy. 2 90-plus drives against Bama. That's uncalled for. You know what I mean? That's despicable, actually. Of course, the Vanderbilt game. You're not putting the spy on Diego Pablo, letting him go off for 165 yards on 20 carries and 1 touchdown. And now he's been invited to New York. Yeah, okay. Whatever. He's not going to win though. We already know whose Heisman that is. And that's Mendoza, who basically gave one of the greatest promos in college football history that night. But yeah, a lot of coaching malpractice took place. A lot of coaching malpractice. And that's the thing about Tim Banks. The philosophy may have been good, but the execution was not. The play calling was not. Definitely against the big boys. The play calling was horrendous in all facets of that defense. Safeties. Angles are wrong, out of line. The gap assignment is terrible. And sometimes they fall on the linebackers coach as well. And eventually the player. Sometimes the player, you can practice all you want, but can you execute? But yeah, there was a lot of injuries. And at this point in Josh Heupel's tenure at Tennessee, he can't afford that no more on defense. The defense cannot be a casualty to what we're trying to do here at Tennessee. And that's what? Compete and win championships. That's what this is what this is about. Competing for championships and winning championships. That's what it's all about. Nothing else, nothing more. So, with all that being said, how do y'all feel about Tim Banks getting let go? I'm pretty sure most of y'all are ready for that. I mean, y'all were ready for it, and here it is. Now, as far as the candidates for Tim Banks, I was speaking to someone earlier, and they was feeling like that, Rodney Garner, that would be a great thing that he can be named defensive coordinator. My issue with that is, it's not that I don't like for Rodney Garner to be the defensive coordinator. That would be great. Problem is, how much does he have left in the tank? Secondly, is he even going to stay next season? Then you have Coach Chop. Would he be in line for a defensive coordinator position? Who knows? You have William Inge, and I'm just talking about in-house people right now. He's been a defensive coordinator, a co-defensive coordinator at the University of Washington. What does that look like? I'm pretty sure we're going to see what that looks like at the Music City Bowl on December 30th in Nashville, Tennessee. We don't know if that's going to be long-term or not. Who do you want outside of the Tennessee program? A Jim Knowles, maybe? What's my man name? I just had him in here too. A Bryant Haynes from Indiana. What does that look like? And Indiana's ranked 2nd or 3rd total defense this year. You have a Will Muschamp. Will Will Muschamp come to Tennessee with all the Georgia ties that he has? I mean, he's been everywhere else in the SEC. Would that be a great fit? Philosophically? Who knows? Philip Parker. I know nobody talks about him, but he's the Iowa defensive coordinator. And Iowa, They have great defenses. It's just their offenses that let them down. So what does that look like? I guess we just gonna have to sit back, wait and see at this point. But whoever that defensive coordinator is, they need to be a damn good defensive coordinator. There's no time to be playing no more. Those days are over. You know, like I said, Tim Banks had this one great season. So, or phenomenal season, but it hasn't been phenomenal before that and after that. You know, there are definitely holes in his play calling. That, for me personally, was my issue with Tim Banks. But anyway, with all that being said, once again, I appreciate everyone that has subscribed to this channel, that continues to support this channel, that continues to like this channel, follow this channel, share this channel to others. You know, definitely comment. I appreciate y'all's comments. I appreciate the dialogue that we've had with each other during this time, during this whole, this whole YouTube channel that I have, just shooting the sports. And like I said, man, it's much appreciated. But it's a wait and see right now. And I'm excited on the direction of where our defense is going to go. But you know where we are, just shooting the sports, and you know who I am, Blackout Jones. And anytime I talk about that power T right there, behind me and the one beside me, you already know what it is. Go Big Orange and go damn Vols.
Survive.